Hi everybody, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm Adele Levine, intuitive and medium. Okay, so I thought about this for some time, the subject I wanted to do, and I kind of went back and forth, but like you guys might notice by now, if you've been following this channel for some time, I like to kind of go with where I see, I've noticed the questions have been coming up over and over. And what's been coming up a lot is anxiety and spirituality. And especially anxiety after this time we're kind of making, kind of pushing through this pandemic. I definitely covered this subject on my podcast that actually I just posted today about, life after the pandemic. And this video, I want to talk about the anxiety and feelings people are having after coming through what we've all just come through, and even just anxiety in general, and how does spirituality help with that? And does it help with it, more importantly? But here you guys go. I wanted to show you this awesome, my little tea. I don't really do tea a lot, and I haven't today. This is iced tea, but isn't the mug cute? Isn't the teacup cute? It was given to me, so I threw it out here. Anyway, so diving in. Anxiety and spirituality is definitely a thing that has been coming up a lot, because I feel people are trying to find alternative ways to deal with anxiety and trauma and PTSD. I am no psychologist or psychiatrist. I am not claiming anything of the sort of knowing, or a PTSD expert in how to handle this type of trauma. But I do want to comment more on the fact that, is there other ways that we can use spirituality to help us with mental health? Meaning, if you're working with somebody who is an expert at these things, can you use spirituality as a way to add to that? I believe so. I don't believe it's a replacement, though. So I want to be clear. Using spirituality only using spirituality as a way to help heal trauma or anxiety or PTSD and things like this, I don't feel is the only way to help with it. Talking to someone, of course, helps, or anything else you may need in that area, people who are experts, or even if you're following some kind of system that works for you. What I mean by system is, like, maybe you say, hey, I've been reading this book, or I've been listening to these meditation recordings or whatnot, and it's helping you with these things. But I do want to talk about that during this year and a half we've gone through, you guys, y'all have gone through some stuff. What I mean by that is you all have gone through some shite. And this year and a half has been difficult for everyone. I feel that we're moving through this, and we're realizing that we have some anxiety, and we may even have, especially for people who are in the medical field and such. And by the way, thank you to all of you that were out there in the world and had to be out there to hold down the fort with food and medical supplies and things. You have gone through some stuff. I do want to talk about how the pandemic has affected us, but I also want to talk about anxiety in general and trying to understand how it's different for each generation. Yes, I'm going to get into the generation thing, Citric, because I've been obsessed with it. And the reason why I've been obsessed with it, if you haven't noticed, I'm on TikTok, and I've mentioned it here a few times. It's probably because it's the first time we can all come together as a whole and go, oh, us Gen Xers, did we go through hell and realize that we thought we were all alone? Yes. And millennials, did they go through a different time? But more importantly, like, the young people who've gone through this time during this year and a half, they are going to be a completely special generation that shared something and experienced something and even had trauma about something unique. So I feel that anxiety is really high right now, and people are feeling it. I'm not discounting if you had this pre this, but be aware if you had this, what I call BC before COVID. You are definitely having it AC after COVID. I hope you put up something cool here because, that was clever. That was clever, right? You definitely have had anxiety afterwards. If you were having it before, believe me, this experience, this year and a half we've gone through, have definitely didn't help you. And probably you're finding yourself feeling like, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with the anxiety I'm feeling? Why do I feel even less motivated? Maybe you're not feeling the need to want to go out and do things, and maybe you're feeling the need to hide, continue to hide. It's okay. I say that spirituality, what it does is what it's doing or what it can do for you to help you through this in coupled with getting some mental health that you may need, meaning from some experts in that area, professionals. It's there to help your spirit. Spirituality is to help be kind to you, for you to have empathy for yourself, for you to have compassion for yourself, for it to help you in your spirit, not just your mind and your body, but your spirit. And your spirit has taken quite a bit of a beating. All of us have during this year and a half. And what spirituality and the spiritual world in that realm, what they want to do is help soothe. They want to help comfort. They want to help heal that, all that you've been through, that your spirit has tried to lift up and tried to get through this year, tried to push through, tried to be a champ, tried to find creative ways to enjoy, whether you were binging TV, whether you were cooking, whatever you were doing to try to keep your spirit up and to keep yourself moving forward. Don't discount that. Don't feel like you wasted some time. Don't feel like you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know, who I am anymore. I was just kind of sitting around watching TV. You were doing what you needed to do to keep your spirit going. Don't feel like if you weren't meditating 24/7 and you weren't doing all kinds of amazing things during this time that somehow you failed it. You didn't. And those are parents to those who have gone through kids, whether they are grown children, meaning in their 20s, or whether they're teenagers or very young children. You have not only been managing yourself, but you've been helping with them, and know that their spirit has been affected. So what I feel about that when it comes to anxiety, it's not just a mental state, although it is. It's not just the physical manifestations that happen, but your spirit is having a reaction of not feeling the light as much as you used to, not seeing the light as much as you used to. Kind of like that feeling of awe and wonderment that you felt like, or even excitement about new things, even your own spirituality, your anxiety is kicking in and kind of shutting that down. So you are not alone. If you've been experiencing this, please comment below and share what you've been experiencing, because it helps for people to know that they aren't alone in this. It helps other people to hear other people's stories so they feel connected. So what I would say to you is this. When people say, what should I do? Or how can I work my way through this? Or what are the best ways that can help me and my anxiety? You aren't going to find a quick fix on it. I'm sorry. You're not going to do a meditation and boom, everything's fixed. You're not going to suddenly feeling kumbaya with the universe and you're fixed. It's not going to work that way. The way it's going to work is that you are going to find a way to learn to heal and soothe. And how you start by doing that is by having compassion for yourself, having empathy and understanding for yourself, letting yourself do whatever you need to do to soothe. Kind of imagine like you have been on a year and a half battle through the world. You've taken bruises and cuts and been knocked down. Let me remind you, it was a daily thing that we were experiencing something. And if it wasn't this year and you were already having anxiety, and the world is moving so fast to you are not imagining that either. The world is moving fast. Things have been moving fast. The younger generation is in a generation that the older generation, and I'm kind of speaking for myself, haven't ever experienced. and having access to so many things, having access to so much information, there is so much benefit to that. That the fact that you have answers at your fingertips, you can go to Google and find something. You know what's going on in China. You know what's going on in a small town in Indiana. You have access to so much information, and it's amazing, but it has caused anxiety because it's made the world very bright, where the hidden dark sides of things are no longer hidden. It is now very much known. And I think the older generation has to understand we didn't have that. So let's just all be in the same boat. All generations, all ages, all walks of life. We are all trying our best to get through this life and enjoying it and appreciating it, but still trying to grow and still trying to evolve and seeing the dark side of things, but still not letting it bring us down. And that's what causes, to me, a spiritual anxiety, where your spirit is feeling pulled down. Because when you're very small, if you grow up in a healthy childhood, the world is very magical and safe and okay. Like I said, if you grow up in a healthy childhood, then you slowly get introduced to the dark sides of the world. But it is happening where young people are being introduced to this dark side quicker and quicker and quicker because they have access. But they also are being accessible to, we all are being accessible to good information and ways to solve problems and conscious thinking and evolvement and problem solving and all of this. So it's not about something's bad, something's good, all tech is bad, all tech is good. I mean, I don't understand people come on an app like this, or a channel, I should say, like this, coming onto a website like YouTube, or going onto any kind of app and downing technology. You're on technology, downing technology. Doesn't quite make sense. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the fastness of the world and the way we're speeding through it into a new future is causing anxiety. Before this year and a half, and believe me, the year and a half did not help you. So be kind and patient, and just wake up every day knowing that you are trying your best to manage all of that. Here's a little secret, guys, that I've learned from reading for so many years. Everybody's walking around with a mask on. Not that kind of mask. Let me rephrase that. Everyone's walking around hiding hiding who they are, hiding their fears, hiding their anxiety, hiding all of the things, their insecurities. It's just as we get older, we tend to be better at managing a better mask. We have a better way of hiding that part of ourselves. We get better at it. We get quicker at it. We get more efficient at it. And that's the only difference. Sometimes people actually turn into that wall they've created, that barrier. It's become part of them instead of just, guarding them. And that's the difference between getting bitter and angry and things like this, and just knowing that you're just trying to keep yourself safe. So when you're younger, you're just not as good at it, but don't think everybody has it figured out. Everybody is walking around with insecurities, anxiety, feeling unsure about themselves. We're all a bunch of kids in these adult bodies. The kid in you just never goes away. We just grow and we learn how to manage this world a little better. So yes, know this, that you are not alone. And when you're looking at other people and trying to figure out, did they have anxiety this morning? Were they nervous about going out into the world or applying for a new job or doing something new? They were. They just hit it a little better. Maybe they mastered it in a little different way. We all are trying our best to hold on to our hearts and hold on to our minds and hold on to our spirits, and trying to stay in this light place as we go and navigate through dark waters. And this year and a half has been dark waters. So if you were feeling this way before, like I said, again, you're probably feeling this way. I want to repeat that because I want to acknowledge people who deal with anxiety and things like this, and go to spirituality as a way to help them And it's not necessarily just about this year and a half. However, I also want to acknowledge what we've all been through. So what I would say to you is that spirituality is your friend to accept, to be a partner in other things you're doing. Don't look at spirituality as a way to erase or take away everything you're feeling, your fears and your anxiety, but it can help you soothe the spirit, heal the spirit, find a way to realize that the things inside of you that have affected your spirit, have affected the core of who you are, is real, that you're not imagining it, that it has tilted you a little bit, and we have to keep cleansing it. We have to keep checking in. We have to keep checking in with ourselves and saying, you know, have I lost myself? Have I lost the core of me? Am I being kind to myself? Am I checking in? And also, in coupled with anything else you feel that has helped you, whether it's walks or meditation or yoga or just, you know, playing video games or just staring at a wall, that has helped you with your mental and physical self as well. So I hope that helped. Wanted to announce that I'm doing a class this Saturday. Many of you have signed up for, which is communication with spirits on the beginners. I kind of like got tongue twisted on the for beginners part because I've never kind of labeled it that way. That's a Saturday. A bunch of you signed up. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be an awesome class. I am going to be posting a second class probably this weekend after this one is done. You guys wanted me to do reopening the third eye. I'm still offering 50% off of my readings as we move through these times with the code PEACE. I have some other things in the works that I'm excited about that I'll be presenting to you as soon as I can. Don't forget, I have a book out there for those of you. I've had a lot of you tell me that you've read my book, which has been awesome. Like in readings and DMs, people are like, I read your book, which is so cool. I love to hear about it. Please hit reviews on there on Amazon, Peering into the Narrow Room. I'd appreciate it. Follow yourself, follow no one, listen to that inner voice, and I'll see you soon.